Hey there, it has been a while since I did an I Can't Even meal, and it's been too long. I've missed you guys. I said on my Instagram that I was gonna do a couple different recipes in the next few days, but I wanted to start with, because those things are gonna, the different recipes are going to be part of what I'm about to show you, which is a super uber duper simple chicken bone broth. And when I say simple, I mean like legitimately, like stupid simple. This is Irreverent Health, and these are I Can't Even meals. The intention of this is basically like, hey, when you don't have a lot of time and you just need to get stuff done, and then you also want to be healthy and for your body to work, that's what this is about. So today we're going to do a bone broth. The reason that I love and I'm obsessed with bone broth is because I've been working out a lot more. I mean, I have been for a while. But before, when I was working out, I was getting sore a lot, like a lot. And not until I added bone broth and also CB Supplements collagen powder to my daily, or at least every other day regimen, did I notice a really big difference in how strong that I felt. So the reason that I want to show you that's one reason. We talk about collagen and the benefits of it. The second reason is because sometimes we can be afraid of food. We can be afraid that it's intimidating to make. We're afraid that we think it has to look really complicated or really boring or really tasteless, which really bites, right? It doesn't. So I'm excited about this because I'm starting to think in a new way. I was working with Dr. Kate Shanahan, and she had me thinking in terms of whole foods, but in a convenient way. So this is one of those things where it's a new meal prep. Instead of you making 7 effing sweet potatoes in all these different containers and having the same thing every day, why not make a bunch of dressings? Why not make some bone broth and make a bunch of different soups that taste really delicious? Why not do things like that? So without further ado, that was really loud. Instapot. So there are like 3 different ways you can make this. You can make it with a crock pot, you can make it with an Instapot, or you can make it with a traditional stove pot. I would say if you're gonna get one appliance this year, just one, you're gonna want to get an Instapot, because that guy is like a stove top. It's an Instapot, which means it's a pressure cooker, and it's also a crock pot. So it's an all-in-one appliance. You can get rid of the other things. Get the biggest one that you can if you have a family that you can find. But the inside looks like this, super simple, right? All I did for chicken bone broth, I went and got 2 rotisserie chickens, right? I deboned, no I didn't. I took the meat off the bone, right? Like look how much meat, $6.99 per, and then I have all these bones left over. No joke, this is how simple this is. I'm gonna put these bones into that pot, right? I'm gonna add carrots. This is where the flavor comes in, man down. And who cares, right? Like, it's on the floor, but I'll straighten it eventually, whatever. Celery adds a lot of flavor to a bone broth. And then I have these garlic cloves. So garlic, super fragrant and good. And then I have onions. And I am packing the crap out of this, right? So it's all in there. Now all I'm gonna do is add water and one other thing. Hold on. So I'm adding water to where, up until where it's like just covering. Wow, that's taking longer than I thought. Okay, so what's gonna happen is I wanna leave a little bit of space for some juices and other things to release, but I've got water right up until about right here, right there. I'm gonna add some salt because that's always great, but don't be afraid, you can always add salt later. But salt makes everything really great. If you're on the 5-in-1, you'll have to watch the salt a little bit. If you're not on the 5-in-1, you're on the 3-in-3 or something like that, then in a 4-in-2, salt won't be as much of a problem. Apple cider vinegar. The vinegar is really great because it breaks it down. The acid breaks down some of this here. So I'm putting about a tablespoon in there. And then, did you guys know the Instapot actually has a bone, or like a soup and a broth button? It's literally the best tool ever. So I'm gonna take this guy. I'm going to stick him back in here. And then I'm gonna take, oops, wait a minute. Okay. So I'm probably, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this. I'll show you. Come over here. Okay, so do you see where it says soup broth? It has 1 hour. I've done it before where am I looking? Where are you guys? Hi. I've done it before where I did it for like in a half an hour. Oh wow, I'm like a hot mess. Sorry. I've done it before where I've done it like a half an hour. I'm gonna let it sit for an hour and pressure cook for that long. But look, it already, there's no start button. That's the really tricky part about this little guy. There's no start button. It just, you press the button, you can adjust the time, and then it turns on itself. The one thing you want to be careful of, which I'm still not looking, the one thing you want to be careful of is to make sure that this little guy right here is turned to, so if I can show you, sealing, not venting. Venting will be afterwards. In order to keep the pressure in, you have to keep it on seal. But that's it. So that's going to be the base of the soups I'm gonna make, and I'll make them tomorrow. Oh, wait a minute, that's not true. Shoot, sorry. Don't ever do what I just did. just open it up. But it took me like 5 seconds. The other thing I wanted to add was collagen, because the bone broth itself is gonna have lots of collagen, which contain amino acids, which are gonna help break down, will help repair muscles, joint tissue, connective tissue. It'll also help with repairing your gut. I'm bipolar, and so for me, 80% of my serotonin receptors are in my gut. That's what a naturopath told me one time. And so as I cleared out my gut and tried to repair it, my bipolar, the byproducts of that, or whatever I experienced in that, is a lot less. So I'm gonna cook the put it on, and I'm gonna let it go. So tomorrow, or the next couple of days, I'm gonna do a couple things. I'm gonna make a curry kale sausage, cauliflower rice soup from the base of this. I'm gonna show you what happens after it's done and it sits for a little bit. It creates a little gelatinous quality to it, which is awesome, because that means when you ingest that, you're rebuilding your muscles. You're serving your body really well, and it's delicious, and it's yummy, and it's easy, and it's convenient. And you can make that soup, and you can make a miso soup that I can do in 5 minutes. You can make a gingery egg drop soup. So we'll make a few of those from this one base. Last thing, it is so super cheap. So think about that was 2 rotisserie chickens. It yielded all of this chicken, which I'll use in a variety of different ways, right? Meal prep. So let's just say I cut this up. I had already made a dressing that was avocado tarragon, which I'll do later. But I do that, I put it on a bed of spinach. That's a meal in and of itself. So that's 1. I have 3 soups I can make out of this. So that's 2. And then I have whatever else I could make. Chicken salad. I could make, what else could I make with chicken? I don't know. I could make little chicken rounds, or I could, I don't know. I should have thought about that before I started talking. But if you think about it, this is going to yield me for, what is it, $14? Yeah, like $14. It's going to yield me like 8 meals. It's crazy. So it's not expensive. It helps you have meal prep for the week for you and your family. You can have a lot of variety and not have to be bored with the same dang thing every day. And it's lean and green for those people who care. It's also, you've got Whole30, you've got paleo, it's non-toxic oils, and all the benefits of a bone broth. So hopefully that's helpful. I'll show you tomorrow what it looks like, but hope you have a great Friday, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.